alleged crimes took place right here behind me inside of Stevens Elementary School. Court documents show that the 10-year-old victim told investigators the abuse happened daily. Today, former special education teacher 32-year-old Mahala Benavides appeared in court facing charges of first-degree rape of a child and first-degree child molestation. The rape charge applies when someone has sexual intercourse with a child under 12 and the suspect is at least 2 years older than the victim. Spokane police say an investigation started last month when the principal of the school called police after the family of the victim came forward with the allegations. Court documents show following a nearly 2-hour interview with the victim, investigators confirmed the abuse started around winter break of this school year. The child told police the acts would happen multiple times a day inside of 2 different classrooms, one that was used as a timeout or break room and another that had other students inside. With a search warrant, investigators went through Benavides' phone and found multiple sexual photos and videos that involve both the victim and herself. Today, a court commissioner determined probable cause for the charges Benavides is facing. These are Class A sex offense charges, which means she could potentially face up to life in prison.
The state's position in this case is that the defendant's actions were highly predatory. We are additionally concerned for community safety based on the level of sophistication and planning involved in perpetrating these sexual assaults.
Her bond has been set to $750,000. She's expected to be back in court for her arraignment next week. Police say Spokane Public Schools quickly removed Benavides from contact with the student and worked with investigators. We did reach out to SPS and they sent KREM 2 a statement saying in part, it's vital that we allow SPD to conduct its investigation, and SPS will continue to follow our policies as we take next steps pending the outcome. The investigation is still ongoing. In Spokane, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Disturbing story. The details may be hard to hear and they are not suitable for children. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. A Spokane public school teacher is in jail for allegedly raping one of her students. Mahala Benavides is a special education teacher at Stevens Elementary School. She was arrested Thursday for child rape and molestation and made her first appearance in court today. Madeline Mullins was there and is now live from Stevens Elementary School. So Madeline, how long has this allegedly been going on?
Well, according to court documents, this abuse began around midwinter break and took place inside classrooms here at Stevens Elementary School. And it wasn't until mid-February when one of the victim's family members came forward that school staff and police got involved. Mahala Benavides made her first appearance in court today, a month after she was put on leave, and police began investigating this alleged abuse.
They responded, took the initial report, spoke with staff there, and then I know they came across some evidence that led them to call our special victims unit.
According to court documents, Benavides has been abusing a 10-year-old student almost every day, sometimes multiple times a day, in what the victim described as a timeout room, and also in the classroom while other children were present.
The child victim describes that the defendant would purposely wear dresses or skirts to allow for an easier ability to quickly engage in the sexual abuse at school, and that she would position herself and the victim behind items such as a padded mat in the classroom to ensure that they would not be seen.
Court documents state that sometimes Benavides would film these crimes and that she would take explicit videos of herself at home and show them to the child while at school.
The defendant held one of the highest positions of trust in this child's life. She used that trust to facilitate these sexual assaults against the child, and she told him not to tell anyone what she was doing to him.
Today, the judge set her bond at $750,000. The child's family's attorney released a statement stating in part, "Parents entrust schools with their children every day. That trust exists because families believe their children will be safe in the care of the adults responsible for them. Every child deserves that safety." Now, the Spokane Police Department tells me they do not believe any other students here were victims. And the Spokane Public Schools says that they will be following their procedure as they take next steps pending the outcome of this case.
Parents trusted the special needs teacher with their child, and what investigators say happened next is honestly shocking. There are a lot of controversy all the time about people homeschooling their children. As someone who tutors mainly homeschooled children, let me give you an example of why I think it is almost completely necessary to homeschool your children, especially now in 2026. Special education teacher Mahala Benavides in Washington State was arrested this month for sexually assaulting and raping her 10-year-old student multiple times a day, and the victim even said that it happened up to 5 times a day. And told her 10-year-old student to not tell anyone or she could lose her job, which means she knew she was a nasty bitch while she was doing it. Give him candy, she would give him brownies just to kind of make him feel better about the situation. What is so mind-boggling about this is the fact that she did it in her classroom. She would hide her and her student behind bean bags or behind their little like nap time mats. The victim reported it to his parents, explaining everything in February. She was finally arrested in March. She was finally investigated, and investigators went through her phone. They found videos of her doing things to herself and saying the student's name. The child is 10 years old. She's 32. I literally have no words. Is booked in jail right now and is charged with first-degree child rape and first-degree child molestation. Her original bond was $750,000, but crazy enough, the judge reduced it to $500,000. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like, especially in a situation like this where we have a special needs educator raping her student every single day, we would actually up the price instead of reducing it, but that's just me, I guess. She did plead not guilty, so her trial is probably going to start in sometime in May, according to earlier reports. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how the jury just kind of really analyzes this whole situation and what thought process she had to plead not guilty to something that there's literally evidence that she did. Forgot to mention that they did try to get DNA by doing a mouth swab, but she didn't do that. So they actually got fluid, body fluid, from the beanbag and the nighttime mat that they slept on. All I gotta say about this whole entire situation is the fact that we can afford nonsense war, but we can't afford cameras in the classroom. Say, oh, invasion of privacy. No, this happens way too often. Way too often. Not only with male teachers, but obviously with female ones too, all the time. Anytime anyone tells me that they're going to homeschool their child, I highly encourage it. There are too many things going on in the school system, and clearly not enough adults that can be trusted around children, especially those on the spectrum that need additional help, that need additional support, that need additional guidance, and they're in such a vulnerable position that they almost feel like they can't tell their parent. So yeah, like, what the hell has this world come to?
Police say the special education teacher done raped the 10-year-old student in the classroom, y'all. Do you hear what I just said? In Spokane, Washington, Mahala Benavides, a special education teacher, raped the 10-year-old in the classroom on a motherfucking beanbag, y'all. Not once or twice. The boy told his parents it would sometimes happen 5 times a motherfucking day. Do y'all hear this shit? Like, we send our babies to school hoping that they're going to get the right education.
Okay, so this sick fuck that you see on your screen is Mahala, don't give a shit, Benavides. So in Spokane, Washington, a special education teacher that worked at Stevens Elementary School, 13-year-old Mahala Benavides, was arrested Friday morning, February 12th, for essaying a 10-year-old boy. So the boy said that Mahala began abusing him around winter break, and it continued for months. She told the boy not to say anything, so the boy didn't say anything yet. So the boy said that the incidents would occur frequently, sometimes nearly daily, 5 times a day. She would be abusing this boy uh, in the classroom. Like, there would be like a small classroom over here attached to the main classroom, and she'll take him in that room, and then she would try to cover them up so they nobody would see them. And the investigators said that they went into this classroom that the boy said that he was getting abused in. So we don't know if it was like a beanbag or a mat or whatever, but they found body fluids on this mat. So they sent it to the lab to gather more evidence to see what it is, so they could charge her with more charges. And now here's the crazy part: they found evidence of this woman sexually abusing this boy. She would record them doing the do, okay, and have him watch it afterwards. Then she would go home and do sexual stuff to herself and show the boy the next day what she was recording on her phone. This bitch is disgusting. She is nasty. Like, how can you find a 10-year-old sexually appealing? Like, you are the most grossest person, you sick fuck. Well, she got mental problems, y'all. So now, when the forensic did their testing inside the classroom, they got all the materials that they needed, all the recordings that they needed. They went to the school records, got the timelines. What this boy said was true. Okay? So how this nasty person got caught, the boy finally told his parents. The parents went up to the school and told the principal, hey, get this creep because she's sleeping with my child. So that Friday morning, the principal's like, yep, we're calling. And the police show up and arrest her. It's a special victims unit. So now that she is in custody, she went to a hearing recently. And the judge gave a non-contact order for her not to contact the victim. But she tried anyways. And now the judge is concerned about her trying to tamper with evidence. Now, on top of that, she had a $750,000 bond. Then the judge reduced it to $500,000. You can't make this shit up. How? I don't understand, you guys, how you could find that a fourth grader, special ed fourth grader, attractive. Yo, come on. But what the hell do I know? I'm just a talking head.
Okay, this story is really sickening and I have to issue a massive trigger warning on it before we start. And if you do choose to listen, please do so till the very end. All right, ready? This is 32-year-old Mihaela Benavides, and she is a special education teacher in Spokane, Washington, and she has been arrested for repeatedly essaying a 10-year-old student. And by repeatedly, I mean nearly every single day, multiple times a day. According to investigators, the child told police that the abuse happened in a classroom in a smaller room nearby. Sometimes he says that it happened up to 5 times in a single day. Police said that they found videos on her phone, including footage of the alleged abuse, and that she also showed the child explicit recordings of herself. And like we see so often in these cases, there was manipulation, silence, control. The child says that he was told not to tell anyone because she could get in trouble or lose her job. She also gifted him things like brownies. Now, she has been charged with child R and molestation, and she has pled not guilty. Now, stick with me for a couple more seconds. Prosecutors asked for a $750,000 bond because they said that she poses a danger to the community. The judge lowered it to $500,000. Now, it is my personal opinion that when you're using a position of power to prey on elementary school kids, that you should probably be held until trial. But again, that's my opinion. Lastly, if you haven't already, please do me a favor. In my profile, you'll see a petition to end easy plea deals for those who harm children. Please take 2 seconds. That's literally how long it takes to sign it. And of course, make sure to follow for updates.
In Spokane, Washington, a case is unfolding that has left the entire community and school district in a state of shock and disgust. 32-year-old Mihaela Benavides, a special education teacher at Stevens Elementary, is facing some of the most serious charges a person in her position could face. The investigation began in February of 2026 after the principal contacted authorities. According to the principal, a family member had come forward stating that their 10-year-old had been making disturbing statements regarding sexual acts involving one of their teachers. Following a month-long investigation, Mihaela was arrested and charged with first-degree child rape and first-degree molestation. According to the court documents, the details in this case are harrowing and disturbing, to say the least. The victim told forensic interviewers that the assaults happened on a daily basis, sometimes up to 5 times a day, inside the classroom and in an adjacent timeout room. The student also claimed that Mihaela would show them explicit videos that she had recorded of herself. And when detectives searched Mihaela's phone, they allegedly found several videos that matched the victim's descriptions. On March 17, 2026, Mihaela appeared in court for her arraignment where she pleaded not guilty on all charges. The prosecution cited highly predatory behavior and concerns with witness tampering. Mihaela allegedly reached out to the victim after the search warrants were served. And despite these concerning behaviors, the judge actually reduced her bond from $750,000 to $500,000. As of right now, Mihaela is under a strict no-contact order as she awaits her trial, which is set for May 11, 2026. The Spokane Public Schools superintendent has expressed disgust over these allegations, and the district is fully cooperating with the investigation. What are your thoughts on all of this? And most importantly, what are your thoughts on this bond?